Hello everybody, welcome to your English class. Today we will continue the same chapter from your English grammar non-finance. Actually this class is the second part of the lesson non-finance. So at the previous class we come to know that non-finance is divided into three parts. What are they? You know what are they? First one will be infinitive. Okay, first one will be infinitive. Second one will be gerund, and third one will be participle. So dear students, this class is much more important for you because maximum of you have some of the confusion regarding gerund and participle because both are having the same form. What are they? You know, first here infinitive form. As you know, infinitive form will be 2 plus v1 form. That is infinitive. Gerund form will be what? v1 plus ing or v plus ing. Gerund form. Participle also v plus ing and sometimes v with d, ed or t. So as you can see v plus ing form here, also v plus ing form gerund. But in which case they are different, we will discuss in this class. Okay, so be careful about it. So part by part we will discuss. First one, infinitive. Infinitive is divided into two. Okay, infinitive is divided into two. What are they? You know, first one will be actually noun infinitive. Noun infinitive. What is in your syllabus? That one I am discussing here. Next one will be gerund. Gerundial infinitive, or you may qualifying infinitive. Okay, gerundial infinitive or qualifying infinitive. Now we will discuss about noun infinitive, or we may call it is, you know, we may call it another name in simple infinitive. Mind it, this is included in your syllabus. Only noun infinitive or simple infinitive is included in your syllabus, so we will discuss about it. Qualifying infinitive or gerundial infinitive is another part, we will discuss another class. Okay. Now, simple or noun infinitive. What is simple infinitive? You know, that is the form 2 plus v1 form that will be there included in the noun infinitive or simple infinitive. This infinitive form will be used in four different types, four different ways we may use it. How? Just as first one, as a subject of a verb. So, as a subject of a verb, we may use that noun infinitive or simple infinitive. Just like one example I am taking, to learn grammar is not an easy task. Suppose to learn grammar is not an easy task or thing. Now you can see here one form is there. What form? To learn. That form. To learn, here you can see 2 plus v1 form. That indicates infinitive form. To learn grammar is not an easy task. Here it is a verb. Now the subject of a verb. Here you can see to learn grammar is not an easy task. Here that infinitive form is used as the subject of the verb is. So that's why in that way to infinitive form we may use. Next example, just like the object of a verb. Okay. We may use infinitive form in another way. Here subject of a verb, object of a verb. Just like he wants to help me. Example we are taking, suppose he wants to help me. Now here you can see to help, that form 2 plus V1 form to help me here. That is the object of a verb. Object of a verb. Here verb is what do you know? Once. Now object what is to help me? Here the object of a verb, that infinitive form has been used. Okay. Next one. Next example we may take, that is the object of a preposition. So sometime as the object of preposition, infinitive form will be used. Just like he is about to, example I am writing, suppose he is about to leave. Now you can see that form here, 2 plus V1 form. The 2 plus V1 form, the infinitive form has been used as an object of a preposition. Object, what is the object? Here object here to leave, but preposition is what? That is the preposition. So the preposition about, that is the object. What is it? To leave. So that form is used as an object of preposition about. Okay. And the last form we may use, that is what do you know, that object subjective complement. Okay, as the subjective complement. As the subjective complement. Now what is complement? You know, complement means, what is the complement? Complement means you know what will be adjacent to some others. Okay, because without complement some of the things will not be completed. Okay, so that is called complement. Now example we are taking, just like suppose the best thing is to say nothing. If we take the example, the best thing is to say nothing. Now what is the subjective complement here? To say. Here you can see the verb to say, that is the infinitive form, and that is the complement of the subject, the best thing. The best thing is to say nothing. So here the subjective complement, as a subjective complement, infinitive form has been used. So that is all about noun infinitive or simple infinitive. Now how that infinitive form will be used, you can see here, as a subject of a verb, as an object of a verb, object of preposition, and subjective complement. Now we will go for another some of the exception. Okay, some of the exceptions we will discuss, because some of the verbs will be there. After them, that to infinitive form will not be followed. What is that one? I am giving for one clue so that you can easily remember all these words. Like suppose, please let me see, hear, feel, and make my mind to help, and at last to bid you. Now that is the clue. One sentence I have applied here so that you can easily understand. Some of the verbs are there, like see, hear, feel, let, please, make, then help, and at last bid. So please let me see, hear, feel, and make my mind to help, and at last to bid you. If you will remember that sentence, that kind of verbs are there. Please, let, words, please, let, see, hear, verb, see, hear, feel, make, help, bid. All these are verbs. After the verbs, infinitive form will not be used. Just one example I am giving here. I saw him go. If I go, I saw him go. Now you can see here see, the verb is there, see. After it, infinitive form has not been used. Here actually to go will be there, but to will be omitted. To will be omitted here from that position. From that infinitive form, to will be omitted, because see verb is there. After the see verb, to the preposition will not be followed. So if to the preposition will not be done, then what do you know? that infinitive form will not be formed. So here it is the correct answer. I saw him go. Next example, I made him understand. I made him understand. Here you can see made, the verb is there, make verb. You know, make verb. After that, two preposition will not come. So I made him understand, to understand not, I made him understand. So that is one. Another one, I bid him to do the work. I bid him do the work. Okay, do the work. Here also you can see bid the verb. After it, two preposition will not be followed. Last one, suppose I helped him go. He let me go. Okay, all these things. He let me go. He let me go. You know, he let me to go, not he let me go. So let the word will not be followed by two preposition. Okay, this is all about. Mind it, all these words you should remember. After them, to plus given form, that infinitive form will not be used. So infinitive we have discussed. I hope it is clear to you. Now we are moving towards another. What is it, you know? That is about gerund. As I told earlier, gerund is, gerund is the double parts of speech. Here use of noun plus, noun plus verb. Actually, that gerund is derived from the verb and it is acting like a noun. That's why it is gerund. Okay. Now one example I am taking. Gerund has been used 4 different ways. Okay. And mind it, the form will be V plus ing. Okay. So one example, just like subject of a verb. Here also we will discuss gerund. Subject of a verb we may use. Gerund sometimes used as a subject of a verb. How? If I tell running. If I tell running is my favorite sport. Is my favorite sport. Can you tell me what is it here? Gerund. Gerund is noun. Here gerund, it is here gerund. Now you can see here subject of a verb. Here verb is, here is, so it is used here running. It is used as a noun. And even the running, the word has come from the verb run. So that's why even the form is running, run plus ing, verb V plus ing. So this word is acting like a noun. Whenever ing form, verb plus ing form will act like a noun, then it is gerund. Mind it. So sometimes subject of a verb it will be used. Sometimes we may use gerund as an object of a verb. Object of a verb. Now example, suppose I am taking our house needs painting. Our house needs painting. Here you can see the verb what? Painting. Okay. Here the verb painting V plus ing form has been used. Here the word painting has come from the verb what? Paint. P-I-N-T, paint. And you can see here it is the object of a verb. Object of a verb. Object of a verb. Verb is here. That is needs. And it is used as an object of a verb. So our house needs painting, gerund. And that painting, the word acts like a noun. So that's why it is object of a verb. Okay. Next one. Next example, object of preposition again. Object of preposition. So we may use the word gerund as an object of preposition. Example we are taking, suppose Ram is swimming in river. Ram is fond of river. So okay. Suppose Ram is fond of swimming in river. Okay. So here you can see the word swimming. That word swimming is gerund. Okay, and it is used as an object of preposition. Preposition fond of. Okay, it is a preposition. So object of preposition swimming has been used here, and the word swimming acts like a noun. Mind it, noun, verb plus noun. Okay, that's why it is gerund. So as an object of preposition here it is used swimming. And last one is there, complement of a verb. Okay, last one I am using here, complement. Complement of a verb. Now, sometimes the gerund has been used as a complement of a verb. Like seeing is believing. Like seeing is believing. B-E-L-I-E-V-I-N-G. Okay. So now seeing is believing. Here you can see the complement of a verb. Verb is here is, and complement of a verb. What is believing? Believe. From the verb it has come. Believe plus ing, and it acts like a noun. And that gerund actually it is a complement of a verb is. Seeing is believing. Okay. So it is also a verb. Seeing is believing. Okay. It is also a verb. Seeing is believing. So seeing is what? Believing. That is the complement of a verb. So in that way gerund has been used. And mind it, gerund itself a noun. So never ever a noun will come or will be added with it. Okay, mind it. Gerund itself a noun. So never ever with the ing form a noun will come if it is a gerund, because gerund itself a noun. So after the noun, never ever noun will come again. Okay. So in that way we may use gerund. 4 different ways: subject of a verb, object of a verb, object of preposition, complement of a verb. Here you can see sometime in front of the verb, sometime a letter of the verb, sometime after the preposition, sometime complement of a verb. Next and last we are discussing, that is what that is regarding participle. Just a minute. Okay. Now dear students, we will discuss about participle. And participle is also very much important for you. As you know, participle is divided into 3. Okay. What are they? First one, present participle. First one will be present participle. Present participle. Next one will be past participle. And last one will be perfect participle. Okay, I am not writing here. Now present participle, as you know, the verb plus ing, present participle. Whenever present participle means, present participle means some of the action, what is going on, it is not to be completed, it is not completed still, it is going on. All the continuous or progressive tenses will have that present participle form. Just like if I tell I am discussing non-finite. So here you can see discussing. That word is present participle. Okay, and mind it, here what? That present participle, participle, as I told earlier, here 2 forms will be there. One will be verb, as the participle has come from the word verb. Another will be adjective. So both qualities will be there, verb plus adjective. That's why it is called verbal adjective. Okay, so as noun there will be noun quality. Sorry, as gerund there will be noun quality, and here it will be adjective quality. Both are verb, mind it. Gerund and participle both are verb, but here it acts like a noun. Gerund, here participle will act like an adjective because it qualifies a noun or pronoun. That's why it is participle. That is the difference between gerund and participle. Okay, if we go for present participle, you can see verb plus ing, here also verb plus ing. But here I am discussing non-finite. Here the discussing the word ing form, it is actually qualifying noun. I am discussing non-finite. So here discussing, that is the quality of the noun I. Okay. Suppose another example I am taking. This is a charming scenery. Now you can see here how we can identify that is the what can I say, that is present participle. You can see here. Now charming, that is actually participle, and it acts like an adjective. So charming scenery, charming what scenery, here it is noun. So you can easily understand, if it will be a gerund, so never ever noun will come. Okay, so noun will be quite adjacent with adjective sometime. Generally in progressive tenses, all the continuous tenses, it may be present continuous, past continuous, or future continuous, that all the ing form will be participle, present participle. Another uses will be there, that sometime noun will be attached with that participle from present participle. That's like this is a charming scenery. I want dancing doll. Now dancing doll, dancing the word will be participle, and dancing what? Doll. Doll is noun, so that qualifies. Mind it, whenever any other word will qualify any other noun, it will be adjective. So dancing doll, dancing the word will be participle, not gerund. Okay. So present participle completed. Now we are going to the past participle. Now past participle, all of you know. Past participle means, you know, some of the action that was already completed, and all these verb will be added with verb plus d, sometimes ed, sometimes t. Just like if I tell he is a learned man. Now you can see here learned, that ed form, learn plus ed, past participle means, you know, v3 form. Now learned man, here man is noun. Now you can see it is the adjective. So he is a learned man. Learned man, what type of man? Learned, that is the quality of the man. You can see here the noun is placed beside, so it qualifies a noun. So obviously it is adjective. So it is past participle. You know, d, dt, many other form you have used many more time. That is past participle. And now another example we are going, that is perfect participle. That is the last one of today's discussion. Perfect participle, the form means some of the action which was completed in the past. Okay, that is called perfect participle. Here the form will be, you know, having plus v3 form of the verb, means past participle, having followed by past participle form of the verb, then perfect participle form will be there. It is not included in your syllabus, but still I am discussing here. Suppose example, if I go having completed, completed, yeah? Having completed the dinner, all the guests left the place. Now you can see the form having followed by v3 form of the verb, completed. Now it is the v3 form of the verb, means past participle form. Now before it, if we will add having, then automatically it will take the form of perfect participle. So having completed the dinner, all the guests left the place. Now left the place, that indicates it is past. So in the past some of the action had already completed, already finished. So on that case, to show that kind of action, we will use perfect participle. Okay, so having completed the dinner, all the guests left the place. So that is all about non-finites. So it's a very vast topic, and in that class still I have tried to make you understand. I hope you have understood well. Thank you. Have a good day.